Welcome back to This Is It TV. Hello, everyone. We're coming to you live. Thanks to our friends at the Forum Event Center here in Blackwood, New Jersey. I'm Cheldin Barlett-Rumer. I'm the CEO and executive producer of This Is It Network. This Is It Network is your global digital TV network, connecting remarkable women to inspiring stories. We attempt to do these lives on a regular basis, coming to you live on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, in order to provide you with a little bit of inspiration and motivation every single day. It has been a journey. This week has been a little hectic just in general. For those of you that know me, all of my kids go to school. All of my kids, I only got two. They go to school next week. And so there's been a few hurdles, a few hiccups, a few replacements of some vehicles. We had to turn in our leased cars. I mean, we're just extra over at the Rumer household. So a lot of the mornings have been jammed up, a little crazy, but also had a lot of really great opportunities and a lot of really great meetings, a lot of exciting things to share with all of you very, very soon. So please, 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 if you are interested in working with This Is It Network, if you're interested in connecting with us at all, please let us know in the comments below or send us a direct message. We're doing a ton of stuff to be able to get ready for the fall season. The fall season is our new year. Some people start New Year's in January, us, it's September. So we're really gearing up to a new season of This Is It Network. Not only will I be producing and sharing our two shows that are produced and hosted by myself, Cheldin Live, as well as This Is It with Cheldin, we will be executing 24 new shows for the new season. We have recorded about 8 of those shows to begin with. It's really crazy. Some of those shows are into their second months of content. So we're super excited to be able to provide that to all of you. So please stay tuned. If you have not downloaded This Is It Network on iOS and Android, you can catch us on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. You can do that now. So in the palm of your hand, whether it be your smartphone or your smart devices or your smart TV, we have the ability to be able to connect with you globally. We have content contributors from all over the globe, and we want to make sure we share their expertise with you. For more information on This Is It Network, log on to thisisittv.com and follow, fan, and like us everywhere you find at This Is It TV. As you scroll on in, I want for you to say hello. Let me know in the comments below where you're coming in from. Some of you are over the pond, as we like to say. Some of you are just right, literally, physically next door. Some of you are in a different time zone. Some of you are just getting up at the really early morning. So we're doing our best to be able to do our best and get you all of the information you need for a little inspiration and motivation. My TikTok has been a little suppressed lately. I have over 116,000 followers, but all of our content doesn't seem to be moving or getting in front of as many people as we would ideally like. So we're going to do our best to be able to produce more content, share more stories, more opinions. The truth of the matter is, to be quite honest, is that we've been working really, really hard on so many different things. And one of the things that we've been working on is the scheduling of our content. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Even with our partners that we work with, how are we going to create regularly scheduled programming, regularly scheduled shows that really makes an impact? And so we're really battling with the time of day to post, the frequency of post, all of those things that you guys think about as well. So good morning, everyone. Again, I'm Cheldin Barlett-Rumer. I'm the CEO and executive producer of This Is It Network. We provide digital content and experiential events for remarkable women all over the globe. We have a number of really exciting things going on. Particularly, we have our women's conference that is on September 19th. Here in Southern New Jersey. It is connected right here in our studio. We'd love for you to join us. The link can be found within the post, as well as our link in bio, everywhere you find at This Is It TV. It is going to be super fun from 9 to 5, traditional, not only networking, but workshops and keynotes, followed by our ultimate pajama party that will be really focused on women's health, migraine, sleep, infertility, fibroids, all the things we'll be talking about with some great keynote speakers, as well as some great conversation. So if you're interested in joining us, if you are on the East Coast, or if you're willing to take a plane, train, or automobile to get here, we'd love for you to join us. So please take a look at that. It's thisisittv.com/live. We broadcast live from the Forum Event Center. Yes, the Forum Event Center is located in Blackwood, New Jersey. We're so excited that we were able to partner with them. They are part of the Innovative Catering Concepts brand. That particular brand houses over all large-scale events, large-scale event planning, gives us a great opportunity for you to be able to have catering come straight to you, a fleet of food trucks, thanks again to Innovative Catering Concepts. So Innovative Catering Concepts not only governs over Philly Eats, which is the food truck brand of what they have, but also the Forum Event Center where we are right now. And so we are super excited to be working with them and spoiled to be living within their walls. And so thank you so much to Rocco, the team, and everybody here at the Forum Event Center. So any of your event needs, you can log on to iccccatering.com. So iccccatering.com for more information. Okay, we're gonna dive on in. So what I wanna do and provide on a regular basis, again, is a little bit of motivation and inspiration. And I am a bit frustrated in a space of being able to move forward with a number of different things that are going on in the world. I am not alone. I know that for sure. It feels as if the world is on fire because in some cases, let's be honest, it is. In some cases, it is literally on fire. And what are we going to do about it is the next question. And the post that I made on LinkedIn a little bit earlier today is start by starting. I think a lot of us are talking. A lot of us, I got a lot to say, but aren't doing anything. A lot of us are screaming into the wind, but not taking any action. A lot of us are really, really pissed off, justifiably so, about the world and how the world is sizing up, but we aren't moving forward. We're not calling a friend or tapping into our resources. We're not being patient with ourselves or with others. We're not saying, how can I help you? Or, hey, what can we physically do? What can we literally do? I think it's become numb as it relates to the news in which we are consuming. Again, the world is on fire. The recent shooting is hitting us so hard because it's nonsensical. It makes absolutely no sense because we possess power. We have power. Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Cassandra. Good morning, Tara. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. As you come on in, please say hello. Because the goal of this morning show, the goal of Cheldin Live is to provide a little bit of inspiration and motivation in a time in which the majority of us are not feeling motivated or inspired. It is very hard, right, to dance in the rain. It is very hard to find hope when you feel hopeless. It is very hard to be able to look at your day and be like, is this even worth doing? It doesn't feel like the things in which I'm doing make an impact. It doesn't feel that people are listening or people care. It doesn't feel like whatever it is that I'm contributing is enough. And I know that because I feel it too. Because I think a lot of people assume the people that are in it, the people who are fighting, the people who are active, the people who are loudest, don't feel frustrated or aren't aware of its difficulties. We are not aware of the imperfections of the process. You think that for whatever reason, we're ignoring the fact that it's imperfect, or we're okay with the fact that it's not where we want to be. And that's not the case. There's a lot of discourse that's going on, particularly on TikTok as it relates to what are we going to do forward to be able to solve these issues. And there's a lot of infighting that's happening amongst people who actually want to do better. We cannot have this. We do not have the time for this. I do not have the time to argue with people who equally want to help. I do not have the time to argue with people who equally want to make this world a better place. We have enough adversary. We have enough individuals who are making our lives harder. What we cannot do is if we are on the same side of history, the same side of goals and objectives, make our own efforts more difficult. There needs to be a safe place to land. There needs to be a place where I say, I see you, I hear you. You don't got resources, I don't got resources, but together we could be unstoppable. We spend so much time pointing the finger because that feels more comfortable, because that feels like a resource. That feels as if I'm participating in some conversation, even though I can't move mountains. And it becomes exhausting and we're fatigued. We are exhausted by what we cannot change. We are exhausted by what we are seeing on television, and regardless of how many GoFundMes we support or links we share, it doesn't seem to be moving the dial. And because of that, we are turning on each other, and we cannot afford to do that. We do not have the time. There are too many of you and too many of us who want to do good work. So instead of looking at how much we have going on and how much you did and playing the trauma Olympics of things, we need to work together to be able to get closer to where it is we want to be. And I know you will not approve of everything that I have to say, and you will not cheer me on when I make a mistake. You will hold me accountable for that, but that doesn't mean we don't move forward together. I said in a recent post that, again, isn't getting much traction. So if you see it, you can feel free to share it. I have it on TikTok, and you can follow us on TikTok at This Is It TV. Because hatred has a budget. Hatred has a campaign. Hatred has a brand standards PowerPoint. Hatred is going to meetings and recruiting other people. Love is questioning whether it's worth it. Love is hugging when we can and judging most of the time. And I don't have the time. We are in a particular situation where we need to be able to work very, very hard together in unison, because hate moves in unison. Hate has time. Hate is very patient. Hate calls upon the weak and tells them it's someone else's fault. Hate finds people in the darkest places and allows for them to turn on their neighbors. We cannot turn on each other. And I say that with the most sincerity. And you may not like the way in which I'm attempting to help, but please do not try to discourage me from helping. That is where my concern is. We can judge each other for sure. We can question each other's motives. We can question whether or not we're moving in the right direction, but we have to still be moving. We are fatigued. We are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We are looking at the screen and being like, not again, not this time. Why do I have to explain this not only to my loved ones, but to my children? When they ask, why is this still happening? And then amongst the people who agree we are fighting, absolutely not. I will not have it. We want to argue, but we can argue during a meeting, because hate is currently having meetings. Hate is currently funded. Hate has a budget. Hate has goals and objectives and an 800-page document. We need to get organized. And getting organized in love and diversity and inclusion takes time, but it also takes patience. It takes the willingness to understand that we may not always agree on everything, but forward is the only option, and sometimes crawling is still moving. I am frustrated by the infighting. I'm frustrated in this space of we're not really focused on what it is that we need to do and where it is we need to go, but who's doing more. I'm not interested in how much you know about a particular topic, but more so about what we are going to do about the topic in which you know about. There is this ideal scenario where everyone who is an advocate needs to be an advocate for everything. And what I need for us to do is to double down on what you are good at, to double down on what you know, double down on what affects you, and allow others to do the same and support them when you can. We don't have time for the infighting, because hate doesn't infight. Hate just moves together. Hate moves with mediocrity. They applaud it. They rely on it. And what usually happens with aristocrats and what usually happens with those that have pedigree and experience is that we want to challenge each other's vocabulary. We want to make sure that we have all the information, and then we must receive 100% on the test in order to participate. When those that oppose peace and love and happiness are barely showing up for class. That is what we're up against. The analogy that I made is that we are competing against a team that has a full-fledged training center when we don't even have uniforms. And we're questioning why we're not winning, because we're not playing as a team. If anything, hatred is unified. They will show up for each other regardless of whether or not they think that they are sane. Hatred has merch. We can't even find a campaign or a slogan. So for me, I am interested in doing the work. I'm interested in doing the work with all of you. I'm interested in doing the work with individuals that I don't agree 100% with, so we can get closer to whatever we deserve. I know that this is hard. I know that we are an uncharted territory, but I also know that we can do hard things. I also know that perfection is not the answer. It is just a way for us to get closer to where we have progress. And whether or not TikTok wants to send out my stuff, or whether or not you find me on Instagram, or whether LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube wants to pay attention to me, I'm saying the time is now. This Is It Network is a digital streaming platform that tells remarkable women inspiring stories. We need to be able to move forward. I need to find the experts in the categories, because the loudest people are the only ones talking, and they are not correct. We are too busy arguing amongst ourselves about how much we care, or who cares better, or who is doing it properly, and who said the right things at the right times when they're saying nothing right and moving forward. They're saying nothing correct, nothing accurate, and it doesn't matter. Us, our colleagues, are grading our papers and saying that we are not good enough at advocacy because we didn't get 100%. Meanwhile, hatred is barely showing up for class and winning class president. I am tired, and I am tired of arguing with people on the right side of history with me. We have to work together. That is the only way. We're not going to get everything we want automatically. We know that to be true, but we have to move forward together. So the motivational message for today is start by starting. That's it. Start by starting. Stop grading each other on the level in which we care, but celebrate the fact that people care at all, because that's the baseline that we're at. The other piece that I think about so deeply is that I'm just happy people are finally getting the invitation to the party. As a party planner myself, I think about it in that way. I sent you an invitation. Some people RSVP'd right away, right? Some people said automatically, I am there. Cheldin showed up early, pot in hand, for the potluck. Some people, their invitation got lost in the mail, right? Some people looked at the invitation and was like, this isn't for me. But then they saw it the week before, the day before the party, and they said, I'm just going to swing by. If that is the case for you, if you are late to the party, I am still opening the door. Because we don't have a choice, because we can't do this by ourselves. And I can be mad that you RSVP'd late, but what good is that when the party is going on? Come on in, grab a coat, have a seat, get a drink, let's go. Because that's the energy in which we need in this moment. That's the energy in which we need. I don't have time to grade your paper. I don't have time to tell you how mad I am that you are late to the party. I'm just happy that you are here. That is where we need to be. If this resonates with you, please share it. If this is something that you think you want to be a part of, please let me know. We are a digital streaming platform for remarkable women who want to make changes, who want to put one foot in front of the other, regardless of how slow that foot moves, that wants to connect with other people in order to make this place better, knowing that none of us are prepared for this. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. There is no roadmap for this. There is no roadmap for navigating this world and this space and this time with the people that we're dealing with. But if we work together, if we finish the puzzle together, if we get out of the escape room by collecting the clues and doing it together, not only will we find community, but we will make it through. But what is happening amongst the sane is that we are now grading each other's papers. Now we're mad at each other. Now we're angry. Now we're saying that you are a better advocate, then this is a better advocate, and you should have said this, and you didn't say enough of this. We don't have the time. Because mediocre people aren't grading each other's papers. They're not even going to class. They're meeting in some dark alley, creating 800-page documents that are going to get us all in trouble. I want for us to be able to move forward in a way that is productive. I want for us to be in a space where our children's children can be proud of the efforts that we made. But no one is going to do so perfectly. But I want the effort to be there. And if you care even a smidge, I welcome you. If you got the invitation, you ignored it, you found it, and then you showed up late, I welcome you. Because that's the only way we are going to move forward. Hatred has a budget. Hatred has a campaign. Hatred has a team. Hatred is recruiting. Hatred has practice. We haven't even picked a team. We haven't even focused on each other. We are looking around, blaming each other for how far we haven't come, as opposed to applauding how far we've come. Celebrating what we have accomplished. Moving forward, understanding, looking at tape, recognizing where we have to go. That's what I want to have happen. And content is the best way forward, showing examples of what we know and who the experts are. So it is blatant that what negativity is saying, what hatred is saying is false, because love and diversity is winning and exists. But if we do not exist, then we cannot combat anything that's happening. And let me be really honest when I say this. In the absence of water in the desert, people drink sand. This is a quote that I got from American President. It's a movie that I used to love or still love. Michael J. Fox's character says this to the president. I believe it's in the Oval Office. In the absence of water in the desert, people drink sand. And all of this infighting is leaving the general public, those that care less, those that don't know enough, those that don't have access, those that don't have knowledge. We are leaving them with nothing but sand to drink. They have Lex Luthor, and we have not found our Superman, woman, or person. So in the alternative, the default is evil. That's it. In the absence of water, people drink sand. I am willing to quench the thirst. We need to. We won't agree, but forward, please tell me forward is something that we agree on, that this doesn't feel good, that we are not happy where we are. Tell me that you feel that. Tell me that you understand that. I'm okay with you not knowing what to do. I'm okay with you not being clear on the next steps, because who the hell is? We're all doing our best to do our best. I don't care how many followers they have on TikTok. They don't have the roadmap to figure this out. The only way that we can do it is together. People need to live in protest. People need to live in the boardroom. People need to live in their homes. People need to go to work. There's various ways in which you can activate. So judging people based on how they activate, is that a good use of our time? Is that useful? Or is it a waste of time? Is it creating infighting when we should be collectively figuring it out? Because hate is a collective. They will show up for each other. They will wear unified clothes at this particular point. They're moving in unison. And regardless of how right or wrong they are not infighting in front of the kids. Let me just put it that way, right? The parents aren't fighting in front of the children. They're just not. Us, we're just reckless. I don't agree with this, and I'm not this, and I'm this, and I'm far this and far that. Listen to me. We need to just be moving far forward. That's the only direction we need to move. And the more we work together, the closer we can get to what it is that we deserve. I am not saying that I have all of the answers. I am not even saying that I am the best person to do this. I am saying I'm willing to do this. I'm saying I'm willing to participate. So when people come and grade my paper on how I participate, go and discourage other influencers from participating because they didn't get the language right, or they didn't say it correctly, or they didn't show up in the right way, or they didn't share the right link, we do not have time. Because not only is hatred unified, it is extremely forgiving of mediocrity. When we are requiring 100% on a test, when they are simply barely showing up for class. So you got the invitation late to this party. So you thought it wasn't going to be that bad. No problem. Pull up. Parking's over here. The food's in the back. Bathrooms on the left. Welcome to the party. I'm glad to see you, because it's going to take all of us to be able to find joy, to be able to move in unison. And it's true, because hate is hard and fast and repetitious and strong. It is, because love is loose and you know what I mean? It's just like a flow. So at the end of the day, we don't rely on it as something in which we need to repeat and share and practice, because it should be a given. And I believe that. Love should be a given. Unity should be a given. Diversity should be something we all want. Inclusion should be something we all do. But it also needs to be a practice. It needs to be reminded as to the profitability of diversity, the importance of inclusion, what we can get if we work together. That needs to be reinforced, because only thing that is being reinforced is division. The same aggressive nature that hatred takes, the same campaign, Pantone colors, love needs to have. The events and the meetings and the amount of time it takes in order to create an 800-page document. Where is that room? How do I get into it? How do we create more rooms? How do we cheer people on when they're advocating in an area in which I am unaware? How do they cheer me on in a space in which they are unfamiliar? That is what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to be able to work with people that you may not understand fully, but we are moving in the right direction. I want you to start by starting. I want you to find a cause that means something to you. I want you to find something in which you want to change. And if you decide that it is universal health care, I'm not going to be mad at you that you're not fluent in the Middle East. If you decide that it is the Middle East, I'm not going to be angry at you that you're not fighting for diversity and inclusion. We must move all in unison based on our strengths and what matters to us and what moves us, knowing that there is an overarching group of people who want us all to get closer to whatever we deserve. And there's too much infighting when we should be moving forward. We do not have the time for it. They are way too strategic. Again, we are playing against a team that has a training facility when we have no uniforms. We are showing up, right? Like the Bad News Bears, playing catch up, fighting as teammates on the field as they run laps around us. We need to get it together, and we need to start by starting. And I raise my hand to say this is an amazing place for us to do that. This is an amazing place for us to begin to start, an amazing place for us to be able to join and form community. We are doing our best to do our best. And starting after Labor Day, we will be live at 10 a.m. Eastern on all of these platforms to remind you of this, right? To bring additional people on to lives, to connect with additional people, to tell you that there is more to do than not to do. Good morning, Drew. More to do than not to do. To give us hope where sometimes we feel hopeless. And this is about entrepreneurship and leadership in our homes, in our businesses. I don't care, truly, I don't care what side you're on. You know this doesn't feel right. You know that the temperature in the post office is hot. You know that walking through the grocery store is painful. You know that friends that you want to text so quickly, you begin to question your correspondence. And the only way that we can do this is to come together in a way that brings about some sense of sanity. We need platforms that are willing to do that. People that are willing to have conversations versus debates. I'm not interested in debating facts. I'm not interested in arguing over or not whether the sky is blue. How are we going to keep the sky clean, and who's in charge of that? And how do I support them when I know nothing about environmental studies? How do I not judge them as they work so diligently and hard in a space in which I do not have any expertise? How do I like and share and follow and support? How do I contribute to the conversation? This Is It Network is a platform for remarkable women to connect with inspiring stories, where leaders, executives, and entrepreneurs can log on to their iOS and their Android and download This Is It Network and be able to connect on their smart TVs and their app on Apple TV and Roku and Fire TV to see a little bit of inspiration, to learn from their colleagues, to tap into events, opportunities, and experiences. We needed to fill the void. There is plenty of people talking, but we wanted to focus on educational entertainment that is led by content and community. Because once there is community, the content begins to make sense. Once we are patient in the content, the community begins to thrive. We see what we're capable of doing. We see what we're capable of doing when we work even slightly together. Needless to say, move in unison. Community is necessary at this time. Not to judge the people that are talking, not to be angry at the people who are doing because they're not doing good enough. I've always said, especially, as you can see, I'm an African-American woman, I'm an immigrant, I'm a mother, I'm all the check marks, for sure. And I find myself sometimes very frustrated in certain spaces, in certain times, in certain ways, because I know how hard it is to find the room, right? The right room I'm talking about. I know how hard it is to get into the right room once you found the room. I know how hard it is to get into the right room when you found the room to stay in the room. I know how hard it is to, when you're in the room, to thrive in the room and stay thriving in the room, only to get out of the room and somebody tell you that you did not do enough. Crazy. We know how that feels. People are trying to survive, and we need to encourage them to do as much as they possibly can, to participate as much as they possibly can. The last thing we want to do is discourage people from participating and making this world a better place. And I know a lot of you are frustrated by a lot of people because they have fallen short on your idea of perfection or idealism, and I get it, and I understand. And a lot of people disappoint me too, but we all still need to move forward in the world in which we deserve. We all need to move forward. I know that this is hard and difficult for a lot of you because ultimately, please, the majority of days, I just want to get back into bed and put the covers over my head and be like, oh, not today. But the truth of the matter is that hatred gets up early and goes to bed late. And so we need to match that energy, not with hate, but with love and consistency, with community and communication and conversations in a way that can get us closer to what it is that we deserve. This Is It Network is your ability to do so. We're logging in every day, doing our best to do our best, connecting with our partners, making sure that we have resources. We have an amazing place to be able to film, thanks to our friends at the Forum Event Center here in Blackwood, New Jersey. We are able to have 4 walls to be able to celebrate these conversations, meet with these remarkable people, and really create change. A partnership like we have with Innovative Catering Concepts allows for that to be true. People that are saying, hey, Cheldin, I see what you are doing. Come, here's 4 walls. Plug in your cameras. We got good Wi-Fi. Make sure that you're able to have a conversation with your community that matters. What other partners can we have? What other relationships can we have? What other conversations can we have? Who wants to be involved? Who is sick of looking at the fire burn? Who wants to grab a hose and a bucket? Who wants to be able to support each other so we can have a better life for everyone involved? Even the people who do not agree with us. Because that's often how it happens, isn't it? We benefit from all of the hard work that is done by people, right, that may disagree with us on a regular basis. What I want us to do is I want us to begin to think. I want us to begin to think about things in which we can do and how we can start working together now. I know you're tired. I know you're sick. I know you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I know it. I know you're done with the fools. You're tired of watching the news. You see the world on fire and think that your small contributions will mean nothing. You'd rather watch on the sidelines with hope that somebody will soon pay attention, that somebody will get it right. And I believe that that somebody is all of us. Because I believe that that's the only way it's going to work. Because the efforts of a few is fortunately not going to be enough. We all have our own specific ways that we can contribute, that we can be a part of, that we can be celebrated, that we can be helpful and useful and accessible. And that doesn't mean you have to get 100% on your paper. That doesn't mean that you have to be correct all of the time. That doesn't mean that you have to have all of the answers. That doesn't mean that people within your community need to rely on you to have all of the answers. This is the time for us to be educated and to learn from each other in a way that is useful, in a way that we help each other move forward strategically. And This Is It Network wants to help you in doing that. We're hosting our This Is It Network Women's Conference. It's our This Is It Network Live Women's Conference. It's on September 19th. Oh my goodness, Friday, September 19th, here at the studio at the Forum Event Center in Blackwood, New Jersey. We'll be hosting about 150 women. We want you to be there. More information about our conference can be found within our link in bio, as well as our links within the post. Please, if you are interested in planes, trains, and automobiles and joining us here on the East Coast, I'd love for you to join us. This Is It Network is your global digital TV network connecting remarkable women to inspiring stories. We do so each and every day through our growing community, our engaging content, and the real connections in which we provide. This Is It Network, again, is an educational entertainment platform now available on iOS and Android. You can find us and download us through Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV in order to provide you with that daily dose of motivation and inspiration. Today's inspirational message is to start by starting. Your ability for you to look at what you have in front of you as high as the mountain is and just move one step forward. I've become very disgruntled and maybe even frustrated and very saddened by the fact that those of us who want good for this world are infighting. We're judging each other on how good we want it and how amazing each person's social media platforms is. But guess what? You didn't say this and you didn't say this. And do you support this? Let's work together. Stop grading each other's papers and figure out how to move forward. Like and share what you agree with. Support people that are moving forward, because crawling is still forward. And right now, my darling friends, that's what we need. I know that we are doing our best to work hard and we are doing our best to figure it out, but I am not going to argue with somebody to discourage them for the effort of peace, love, and diversity. I'm not doing it, especially if we're on the same side of things. I want us to be able to work together. And I know it's a big ask because we are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we don't necessarily want to be in community with people that don't understand us, don't see us, don't like us, don't hear us. But growing community requires being uncomfortable. And some of us aren't equipped for it, and I get that. And if you don't want to, I understand that. But please don't discourage other people from participating. Don't discourage other people from posting and sharing what matters to them, because it may not exactly matter to you in the same exact way, because we don't have the time. Because hatred has a budget and a PowerPoint presentation and weekly meetings and recruitment strategy, and love just has that. And I wish that was enough. I wish love was enough. I wish caring was enough. I wish empathy was enough. But if it was, we wouldn't be in this situation. If it was just enough to love each other, it wouldn't be in this situation. We need a plan. And we can't be discouraging everyone who wants to put a plan together. Everybody who wants to participate in a plan. We have time to work together. It's not a lot. We want it to be done yesterday. And in the frustration of the fact that it is not, we are pointing fingers and not moving forward. We are looking at the fire and screaming how hot it is, but not putting it out. And I need us to start by starting. I need you to find what matters to you. And I need you not to be angry at someone if they're more proficient in one line of progression than another. It's crazy. If you want to focus on universal health care, then do that. If you want to focus on education, then do that. If you understand and want to focus on the wars in the Middle East, then do that. If you understand what to do in order to move forward, I'm here to support you in all things. But the level of expectation that every advocate must be clear on everything in which we need to advocate for is not possible. And to grade every advocate's paper at 100% when hatred is working at just showing up barely for class isn't fair. We need to move forward. We need to collectively figure out how we are going to get to a better place. And then from there, a better place. And then from there, a better place. And then from there, a better place. And so on. We are not going to go from 0 to 100, from 50 to 100. We're not going to go there that fast. But together, we can get there. And that's all I'm asking us to do. This Is It Network is committed to it. It's committed to the gathering of all of us. It's committed to the battling internally without fighting in front of the kids. I'm able to do that. But we are in a really important time in history that we're working together, and content through community is going to change things if we are intentional about it. And that is not to say that I do not recognize your frustration, that I do not recognize why people are angry and frustrated because people aren't perfecting the way in which to communicate, and everyone's not saying what everybody wants everybody else to say. But let me be really honest. This is a distraction, because hatred is organized. Hatred is ready. Hatred wants for it to happen in a way that is manageable by us because we are fragmented. Together, we become and put ourselves in a far different situation. Together, we become unified because hatred has a budget. Now, online, we're talking about the budgets that's being spent on the right side of things, and we're mad that people are getting paid to be able to help us say the right side of things. It doesn't make sense. We do not have time for this. If you want to provide any effort at all, I got you. If you have a second to send a link, let me help you. If you just want to be able to listen, that's okay. But what I'm not going to do is discourage people from helping us move in the right direction. We at This Is It Network have the ability to create conversations around community and through content. And we want you to be part of that journey. If you are interested in learning more about This Is It Network, please let us know. Whether it's leadership, being an executive, or being an entrepreneur, whether it's focusing on educational entertainment or celebrating the accomplishments of remarkable women, you have found your home. Not people that are just going to look at the fire burning, but people who are going to go grab a hose and a bucket and help us put it out. We are not going to get it right all the time. We are not going to be able to answer all of your questions and to over-deliver in every situation. We're not going to be able to do that. So I apologize for that now. But what we will equally not do is give up. We will not stop working, not stop fighting for a better life for all of us, even if you don't agree with us. Because we all deserve to live better and live easy. And you can't tell me that regardless of whatever side you're on, we are living easy. You can't tell me that this feels good. You can't tell me that the temperature in the post office and the supermarket feels good to you. So our job is to be able to get to work. And my hope is that you will work with me, hang with me, teach me, I teach you. We work together because crawling is still forward. And we will get there one step at a time, one conversation at a time. I will let you be proficient in what you know, and you will hopefully celebrate what I know, and together we can get closer to what we deserve. I am Cheldin Rumor, and my darling friends, this is it. We have a full day of a ton of content to produce, tons of meetings to have as we create more opportunities to have conversations such as this. If you are interested in working with This Is It Network, please let me know in the comments below or send us a direct message. We are working diligently to create a digital streaming platform globally that connects remarkable women to inspiring stories, that provides resources and expertise, that celebrates educational entertainment in hopes of making an impact and a difference. And we'd love all of you to be involved. If you'd like, please, I encourage you to download on iOS or Android This Is It Network. It's a pink icon that you can see on your smart device, or you can catch us on Apple TV, Roku, or Fire TV at your convenience. Or you can follow Fan and Like Us everywhere you find at This Is It TV. We're working on our Substack. You can find us on Lemonade. You can catch us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, to be able to get us closer to what it is that we deserve. I will continue to show up, and you can come and RSVP for the invite whenever you are free, and I'll be here waiting for you to help us get closer to what it is that we deserve. At This Is It Network, we encourage all of you to no longer whisper your wishes, but to always scream your dream. Until next time, my darling friends, I will see you then. Reach out to me on all social media platforms or send me a direct message so we can see how we can collaborate. Take care.